We're going to look at some of the draft functions here, and to do that, just click on the Team Management button after you load a player file. Alright, we'll start out with the File menu. First of all, obviously, if you hit Exit, it'll leave this module and return to the home screen. Likewise, if you click on the Home button, it'll do the same thing. There's some other options to print preview, print. We'll tackle those a little bit later. Today what I'm going to look at more are the import and export functions. So import and export has the task of being able to take a team and moving into a separate file, an export file, that you can then go ahead and import into a different league. And in that way you can do a draft league, for example. So if there are 20 different members of a draft league, all in different places, each one of those can go ahead and take a team, create it, make their cut downs, their lineups, their coaching decisions, etc., and then export that file into a separate file, which then can be sent on to a commissioner who can import it into a universal file for that league. Alright, so export functions. You'll notice that I'm on Toronto right now. I can change that to any of the other teams in the league. So let's go to Memphis. Alright, what we're going to do is export the Grizzlies roster. So I'm going to go to export just this team. And you'll get a dialog that allows you to change the name if you want to. I would recommend just keeping it. As you can see, it does have Memphis's 3-letter abbreviation inside of the file name. It has a rather extended extension, if you will, for good reason, just trying to keep that something that's specific to this program. And then all I have to do is hit save. You'll notice that what it's done is drop it into the 2021 Pro League rosters folder. So it's actually created a new folder to hold that record. And so now if I go into that folder, which will be in your Documents folder, your My Documents folder if you have an older computer, we're working with 2021 Pro League V1, and there's the rosters, and there's one file. So this can be sent off to as an attachment, email attachment to a commissioner of your league. Alright, so now let's say that the commissioner now has your roster file, and we'd like to import that into our new league. First of all, you can place this anywhere you'd like. So right now Memphis is in position 143 in the Southwest Division. We could put them into the Southern Division, and then you actually have the option of going back, choosing Memphis, and you can delete that version of the team if you'd like to. Or you can just leave it here, so 143. And then just go back in, and the commissioner would import just this team. So, I want to make sure it's on Memphis. Import just this team. So in advance, the commissioner would want to create the league, add all of the teams in advance more than likely. You wouldn't have to do it that way, I guess. You could just go ahead and have everybody else do their own thing, and then go ahead and place the teams as a commissioner into the divisions that you wanted to. But anyway, all we have to do is grab that file, hit open, and it'll import it into this. It should update automatically. Of course, there were no changes here, so nothing really drastic happened. You can do the same thing with an entire league. So if you want to export all the teams in the league, say after the commissioner got everything ready to go, you could do that. And similarly, it'll create its own file for that. The extension is exactly the same. The only real difference is that it says all instead of mem for Memphis. Takes a little bit longer, but goes ahead and does that. And then we can go ahead and bring those teams in as a commissioner or as one of the owners of one of the teams. So you just go import all teams in league, and then we can just go ahead and select this file, and it'll go ahead and import everything into the league. Now I didn't change anything up here, so let's go back here and let's add Memphis to the Central Division, which may be where they should be anyway. We'll select slot number 26, and I just want to show you this because you'll see something a little bit different. Import just this team. We're going to import Memphis, and when I do that, by the way, you'll notice that the screen behind it is completely devoid of any players, and that's because the team doesn't exist yet. But I'm going to go ahead and select Memphis and then go ahead and hit the open button. You'll get a message saying the slot you have chosen, number 26, is not the same as this team's original slot, number 143. Proceed anyway? Sure. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then once I go back, I can see Memphis has suddenly shown up in the Central Division. So if I go to the draft function this time, now I can see that all of the players have been populated. The roster has been populated. The lineups also follow along. So these are the starters. Here are the reserves. And the colors, the logo, and everything else, as long as it's stored in the proper location, also comes along with